So I've been playing with the idea of creating a regular segment, a bit more looser segment on this channel, in which we talk about all the things that are going on in my studio, in the world, and in the comments section. So in the way that I always do things, I'm just gonna try it and see where this will end. All right, first update, which I think is important to quickly talk about. It's over there. It's the Wes Audio theNGTubeEQ. I made a review video about that. I really liked that thing, but like really. And I like it because it has the total recall and because it's like a super good EQ for mastering. But like really versatile and everything. So I really wanted to have it. Honestly speaking, I couldn't afford the price, the 6,000 euros that thing costs right now. Like, it's just not possible. So I said that to people from Wes Audio, like, hey, I like this thing, but I think I want to buy it later because, you know, it's not the right timing. And they replied with, well, basically an offer I couldn't refuse. I got a bit of a discount on it, which makes it possible for me to buy it. And I said, okay, let's go for it. So that's the reason why that theNGTubeEQ is still here. I definitely didn't get it for free. A good deal, but not for free. And on top of that, they're still not influencing what I think or not, because, you know, I would have bought this anyway, just a little bit later. So I'm going to put it in my desk, and that will be probably a members exclusive video. Now, one of the things I want to do today is read a few of your comments on the Mac DSP video, the $4,000 plugin bundle video, because I saw some very interesting comments there that I want to comment on, or reply on. Whatever. The first one is also a top comment. For 4K, you can get a decent 500 series setup with some really nice units in there. All right, for 4,000 euros, you can get a decent 500 series setup. 8 channels of 500 series with an average price of $500. We're talking about the decent setup, not the cheapest. The decent setup, there are way more expensive modules and way cheaper modules, will already cost you $4,000. Then you also need a rack around it. A racks go for, let's say, $700 for a rack. So we're at $4,700. So yes, you can get a decent setup for around that price. But you're also going to need a DDA conversion, and that rack probably isn't going to have total recall capability. So I think it's easy to say that, but you gotta realize the added benefits of such a Mac DSP unit. Now, I do not need to defend Mac DSP. It's not perfect, but I want to make sure that everything is clear. And another thing that wasn't really clear, I think, from that review, and I think I should do better there next time. I think it wasn't always clear that it was an analog unit. There were a lot of comments about this, a few of them from people that didn't understand why it needed a real-time bouncing. Well, it's because it's analog. You cannot go faster than real-time true analog equipment. So it's the people that have never tried this unit that have the loudest opinion. I mean, I'm seeing a lot of loud opinions that aren't always true or right. But, you know, opinions are there to be voiced. It's priced for the professional market, not newbies or wannabes. Yeah, and I'm showing this in the video as well. Like, for instance, you need a word clock in order to run it correctly. If you don't like it, that's cool, but don't bash what you have no experience with. I know a Grammy-winning engineer that bought the $8,000 16-channel version because it gives him the value he needs and he can afford it, of course. I have tried this and I can say confidently that it can replace a lot of hardware. Yes, it's that good. Not a lot of hardware, but it can replace hardware. Yeah. If you make your living from mixing, do yourself a favor and try it on your own material and make that decision for yourself. I think we are right on point here. There is a big difference between doing this as a hobby or having to live from it, because efficiency starts to count as well. A box like the Mac DSP really goes towards efficiency. Now, there is a reason why it's not in my studio, because for me, it's not. This product is also not suited for me. I haven't bought it. Even if I would get it for free, I wouldn't integrate it in my setup because it isn't for me. But from my professional experience, I understand exactly why people need this. And if you don't get it, this product is just not for you. This product is more of a luxury. If you have the money, do you need it? No. Is it nice to have? Sure. Can you make an incredible mix just inside the box? Every time. I don't want to go into the discussion between like in the box mixing or not in the box mixing. That will start getting off the rails pretty quickly. I do not necessarily agree with a product like that being a luxurious product. It actually makes more business sense, same as with the theNGTubeEQ, to have something that is fully recallable. The recall makes a lot of sense when you're doing a lot of projects. I need to open around like between 5 and 10 projects every day or whatever. I'm not counting, but I'm really switching projects when doing my mixing and mastering work. And every time I need to do recalls and also register recalls, it costs a lot of time and energy. It's more of an investment and a business decision, I think. Yes, it's luxurious if you don't have to do it anymore, but if that makes you more productive, that's not luxury. That's an investment. MacDSP is an interesting company. Pensado has praised them for years, and I like a couple of their plugins quite a lot. However, I do feel they are overpriced in general, and products like this definitely don't speak to me. 8 analog channels with auto processing in it that's universally addressable in a box with software written for the recall and conversion for $4,000. Yeah, I don't know. Yes, you can go to Thomann and get the cheapest stuff together and probably be under 4,000, but this is not the cheapest stuff here. Like you heard how it sounded. So yeah, for 4K, there are tons of analog pieces and microphones I would purchase before this box. I mean, yeah, if you need one signal path or something, yes. If you need microphones, yes. That's not what this box is about. Not to mention, I agree with the concern that many have expressed that in time, the digital support will likely cease, bricking it completely. This feels to me more like a $750 value. I really don't get that value statement. However, the software support and the digital support is something I completely forgot to mention in my video. And I'm sorry about that. I should have thought about that. I actually had contact with an analog patch bay maker, and I said to them like, hey, I really, I use cables for patching. And I said, I really like that because that doesn't get me into problems whenever the software support stops. And these analog patch bay companies, some of them are really small. So I said like, hey, I don't know if I want to have this in my studio because of the software support. And I should have covered this with the MacDSP unit as well. Because first of all, you have the software support if the company goes down. Then it's literally bricked. So it's fair enough. And the second thing is, there will be a moment that, Apple will change their chipset or whatever. Because it's Mac only, which is another thing. They will change their chipset and they probably don't want to invest the time to update the software anymore. Definitely like 5 or 6 years down the road. Or longer, like I don't know how long that will take. But and even if they want to invest the time, are they going to give away the software update for free or not? I don't know that. I'm going to need a very long time span of experience with these devices. But I should have included that in the video, so you're definitely right. Now, speaking of the software updates, and this is something where pure analog becomes more beneficial. This is an Eventide omnipressor. On the back, we have XLR connectors, which will accept analog audio right now. And 20 years from now, they'll still accept analog audio. This keeps working. This doesn't need software updates because it's real analog. So that's one of the benefits of real analog compared to a MacDSP unit. So yeah, fair enough. This is what comments are for. EQ on this unit is fully digital, only dynamic processing and saturation is real, just because for real EQ there's no place at 1 unit height. I don't know if this is real. I think it's very difficult to test that with just audio going in and out. I couldn't run those plugins in Plugin Doctor. It's super annoying because I really wanted to test a bit more. The argument of that there can't be a real EQ in there because there's no place for it in 1 unit height is, I think, a little bit short-sighted. Definitely because with like newer technology, we can really make really small EQs. And even my like 4-band EQs that I have in the console, if you open them up, it's actually, wait, I'm just gonna do it. Like look at the amount of air that is still in here. And this is like super old German technology. This is like 50 years old or something, even older. And the biggest parts are the transformers, not needed in the MacDSP unit, I think. And some capacitors. If you take that away and the potentiometers away, it's actually not that big. And these components, these op-amps and everything, and also the resistors can be made much, much smaller today. So I struggle a little bit with this argument from that direction. However, could be. I didn't catch that. So that's bad. There's another comment on this thread that says, well, the saturation isn't that real either because half the processors are tube when there are no tubes in that unit. So what is real? Even if it's emulated in other analog hardware, it's still not real. If you ask a hardware engineer if emulation tubes with transistors is acceptable, they will laugh. I actually know a hardware engineer that's very good at emulating tubes with transistors. But he does it in a completely different way. It is possible, actually a transistor is made as a tube replacement. It will respond different, but again, it will still be analog. It won't be a tube. It's also what I meant in that video when I said like, hey, I just looked into the box, I don't see any tubes. I was meaning to say like, okay, it says tubes on the software, but there are no tubes in there. It's not very good marketing from Mac DSP. And in general, like also the way that their plugins look, I would have done that different. But yeah, as always, your hearing and emotional judgment is your true. Thank you so much for saying that. I really appreciate it. Definitely in the whole like comment storm that I'm basically always getting on every video. But I want to say that my hearing isn't the truth or factual. It's still my thoughts. That this whole channel is about what I feel and hear. I try to be factual sometimes, but most of the times it's just my opinion. And opinions are different between people. That's what we're seeing in this comment section. This is an absurd system. All I see are huge limitations with only a slight improvement, which is also subjective, over cheaper and even free plugins. No, thanks, man. Well, you know, nobody's holding a gun to your head. You don't have to buy it. Like, it's so interesting. Like the fact that I am enthusiastic about something doesn't mean that you have to get it or something. And I'm still very balanced on the Mac DSP. Like, yeah, there are upsides and downsides of such a thing. And I think that's it. Like there were a lot of comments in the same direction. I hope I didn't miss anything important. Yeah, no Windows support and drivers. Yeah, that's one of those things that you should really be aware of if you're planning to buy you know, the APB. But yeah, so I want to keep it at this for now. I'm just experimenting. Leave a comment down below with what you think about making regular videos like this. I don't want to copy Glenn with his viewer comments section, but I have to say it is what has inspired me to make this. But I want to do it in a different way, of course, in my own style. And I just think that, you know, having a video every week or every 2 weeks in which I can, you know, explain certain things or whatever is maybe nice. But I would love to know what you think in the comments, and I, of course, will take a look at the YouTube data of these type of videos as well. Yeah, let me know what you think, and if you have a question for me to answer in this show, leave it in the comments down below as well. As I always say, I try to be as independent as possible. So if you want to support me, make sure to become a channel member or use my affiliate links, Thomann, Sweetwater and Plugin Boutique. They're also in the description down below. It's ytstudio.com/Thomann, ytstudio.com/Sweetwater. Wait, other way around, ytstudio.com/boutique. If you use those links before purchasing something, that's great, because then I'm getting a little bit of a commission and you're not paying anything extra, and you just get your product. For the memberships, I have a 99-cent tier, and for 99 cents you get a little star behind your name, and I'll make sure to read all the comments with a star at least. There's also an early access tier to get early access to videos like this one, or an exclusive content tier to get access to videos like this one. Or was it over there? You'll see. Last way to support me and the whole YouTube platform is watching more videos like an instant video on the other side. Thanks for watching, keep pushing, and bye bye.